Hello and welcome to the Daily for Thursday, April 11th. I am Andrew Wiebe. Next to me, of course, the incomparable Simon Borg. Simon, two MLS teams in the CONCACAF Champions League quarterfinals. Seattle bowing out to Santos Laguna last night. LA becoming the second team to do the same, a 1-0 loss to Monterrey. In Monterrey, ending this series 3-1. What is the difference? What's the difference between these Mexican teams and MLS sides who so far have failed to get over that mountain?
I think if you look at this specific competition, it's the games at home. Seattle and LA both losing at home. That was the killer. I think there was a downer going into these second legs. Not sure anyone really felt there was a chance. But when you look at LA's game against Monterrey, they played well down in Monterrey. The issue is their attack, there was nothing going. Robbie Keane probably had his worst game in a Galaxy uniform. Landon Donovan didn't have anything to give, it seemed to me. He was actually better in midfield, which is why I think tactically, Bruce Arena, after a half hour, you see nothing's happening in attack. I thought there was more he could have done. I thought Jack McBean may have been the best first sub for the team at that point. But the Galaxy, again, they showed well. Seattle and LA showed well on the road. Usually MLS teams have gotten embarrassed. They came out with their chins held up high.
Well, certainly not what the Galaxy were hoping for down in Monterrey. Let's head down there to hear what they had to say after the game.
You know, those guys are quality players, and you know they're really good in their league week in, week out. And for us, you know, going up against the champions, you know, is important for us to take this and learn from it. And I think moving forward, I think we're gonna do a lot better with this.
It was always going to be difficult tonight when you lose 2 goals at home. So you know we have to pick ourselves back up. We got another game on Saturday, so that's a good thing about football, is that there's always another game.
Well, of course, now LA will look forward to next year. They, of course, as MLS Cup champions, will be part of the CCL this time around. Simon, 4 teams going to take part. 2 newcomers, Sporting Kansas City and San Jose, and then the Houston Dynamo. Who is best equipped to make a run in the next edition?
I'm sticking with the reigning champs, Andrew. LA Galaxy, again, they showed us in the last competition, even during the group stage, their B team, their reserve side, put on some good shows. So I'm sticking with them.
Well, check out all the CCL coverage on MLSsoccer.com as we build up to the next edition. Well, there's still 1 game left for the US U-17s in the CONCACAF Championship, but they are through to the quarterfinals. Simon, Guatemala beating Haiti, and that seals their place. But seeding, that's still the big question right now.
Absolutely. And in this format, which I'm not a big fan of, Andrew, where you get to the quarterfinals and the one quarterfinal match determines whether or not you go to the World Cup, it puts all the eggs in that one basket. In the U.S., depending on how what result they get against Guatemala today will determine if they finish first or second. The team they're facing in the quarterfinal round, Mexico or Honduras, and we need to wait to see where they finish. So potential U.S.-Mexico to determine whether the US U-17s get to the World Cup.
Would be a huge game. You can catch that match tonight against Guatemala at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Soccer Channel. Another quick note from that, the U.S. has never failed to qualify for a U-17 World Cup, 14 trips since 1985. Well, it's Thursday, and you know what that means. The starting 11 will be coming out later today, answering all your fantasy questions. Simon, quick ones for you. Who's your guy to avoid this week, and then who's the one that you're putting the money behind?
Well, guy to avoid for me, Landon Donovan. LA Galaxy, I think he didn't have much in the tank against Monterrey. I don't see how he comes out and starts even this weekend against Dallas. Guy to pick up, I think, is Marco Di Vaio. Montreal, they had the break last weekend, and they're facing a Columbus team that gives up its fair share of chances. I'd go with the Italian.
One thing to consider with Marco Di Vaio, he does have a bye next week, but certainly that home game bodes well for Di Vaio owners. Another quick note before we get out of here, Extra Time Radio Day. Christine Sinclair will be on the show, the Canadian national teamer and Portland Thorns forward, as well as Roger Bennett from ESPN to discuss that article from yesterday, comparing different MLS clubs and their fandom with different pop culture references. That's all we have here today on The Daily. Make sure you check out all the coverage of CCL and fantasy on MLSsoccer.com.